Good morning students, I am Purnima and I once again am going to teach you the topic tenses in grammar. I've already taught you students simple present tenses, present perfect, present continuous tense. So these three tenses I've taught you and I've also told you what is tenses. Okay. So first of all I would like to welcome you all in my class and then I'm going to start the topic. So first of all, a quick revision of the tenses. What is the tenses? The form of verb which shows the time of an action and its degree of completeness is tense. So what is a tense? The form of verb which shows the time of an action and its degree of completeness is tense. We mention the time of action in the following ways. Okay, this time of an action is mentioned in the following ways: present, past, and future. The work which is completed in present time, that means at the time of speaking, is present tense. The word or the action which had already happened, okay, that is past tense, and action that will be happening after now, that will be future tense. Okay, and children, I also told you that we mentioned the degree of completeness of an action. Okay, in the following manner, we are having four ways to tell the degree of an action. Those four ways, four types of names which I am going to write, which tell you the degree of completeness of an action, is indefinite, continuous, perfect, continuous. So these are the four ways in which degree of completeness of an action is being discussed. Like suppose if we take present tense, so with present indefinite we know that an action has been done, but we don't know whether the action was continuing or not. Similarly, with the present continuous tense, we know that the action is continuing at the time of speaking. With present perfect, we know the action is completed or is going to be complete. Okay. And present perfect tense, for present perfect continuous tense means an action that is started in the past and it is still continuing now. Okay. So with this method, we keeps on telling degree of completeness of an action. It varies from present, past and future tense. Now, I've already told you simple present tense. It is generally used in habitual action, in universal truth or in general truth, then in the quotation, and then in the commentary. Okay, then planned future action, and I've discussed with you the sentence structure, subject structure. At the same time, I told when the subject is third person singular, okay, we add s or es with the verb. No, okay, and children. Then children, present continuous tense. What is the uses of the present continuous tense? An action that is going on at the time of speaking. An action that not be happening at the time of speaking but happening around the time of speaking. Like I am learning driving, not at the moment, but I may be learning on Sunday or in the evening. So that is known as around the time of speaking. Then children, sentence structure I've already discussed, and yesterday my last tense was present perfect tense. Okay, in present perfect tense the uses is a recently completed action, okay, or a past experience or an action that includes already, so far, as yet, recently, just now. Okay, then I've told you about children present perfect continuous tense, that this tense is discussed when an action has started in the past and is still going on. Okay, so I have revised children all the present tenses which I have done with you, and today I am going to start with the simple past tense. Okay, today we will be doing the past tenses. So our first tense is simple past tense, or the second name is past indefinite. So I will be discussing the uses. I will be telling you about the uses of past indefinite tense or simple past tense. So first use is children, to mention an action, to mention an action or work that is completed in the past. And generally in the affirmative we use second form of the verb. So children, to mention an action which is completed in the past, like John visited the museum yesterday. John visited the museum yesterday. Now you can see John visited the museum yesterday. Children, you can see we have used to use second form of the verb. I used it here, and you can also see, children, this action is completed. This action has happened. Then to express a habitual action in the past. This is the second uses of the simple past tense, to express an action that has happened in the past. Okay, like my grandmother told me stories when I was a child. My grandmother told me stories when I was a child. So this is the action which is also when I was a child. It was my habit to listen the story from my grandmother. So this is the sentence. My grandmother told me stories when I was small. Okay, so you can see told is in the second form of the verb. So the grandmother used to tell him story when he was small. So the action is completed here. Okay, the action has been completed here. Now we will see the sentence structure. Children, this is the sentence structure of affirmative sentence. Okay, subject plus second form of the verb. Okay, subject plus the second form of the verb is here, and then the object. Like children, we can say they wrote the letter. So children, here wrote is V2, this is subject, and this is object. Similarly, he went to see the movie. So the movie is an object. You can see go, went, gone. This is the second form of the verb, and he is the subject. Okay. So he went to see the movie. Went is V2. Alright, he is a subject. So you can see this is the sentence structure of the affirmative sentence. Now I will be telling you about the sentence structure of negative sentence, and you have to listen carefully because this is a bit tough. Not tough, but you will confuse. So it's not that we every time we use second form of the verb. In the negative sentence we are having did is there. So children, with did we always use the, in the negative sentence we have did not. So with did not we always use the first form of the verb. So sentence structure of simple past tense of the negative sentence. So here subject plus V1, no, subject plus did not plus V1 plus object. Subject plus did not plus V1 plus object. Subject plus did not plus V1 plus object. Okay. So children, you can see here, okay, you can see though in this negative sentence we are having did not, okay, did is the second form of the verb, it is already but if we did, we always use the first form of the verb. Okay, you can see this is the first form of the verb here. Okay, so subject plus did not is already the second form of the verb, and then V1 plus object. Alright, so they did not write the letter. So you can see they is subject here, did not, we did not use V1. Okay, this is the object. Sita did not go to the school. So did not is V2 and here we are using V1. This is subject and this is object. Okay, so just remember student that in the negative sentence, in the positive sentence, in the affirmative sentence, what do we have used? We have used second form of the verb in simple past. But people think that we every time we use second form of the verb, so it is not that. In the children, in this sentence, okay, in this sentence I mean to say this negative sentence, you can see with did not, what we are using the first form of the verb with did not. Okay, now you can also see that now I will be talking about the interrogative sentence, and in interrogative sentence we always use auxiliary verb will come first, and here auxiliary verb is did only. So with interrogative, it is did plus subject, did plus subject plus V1. Again children, verb is there, but which form of the verb? It is V1, because children did is there, so we will always use V1. So example, did he go to school? Question mark. You can see with did we have V1, this is subject and this is object. Okay, so you can use different type of verbs here. Okay, like again, did they do their jobs? Job. So did here this is subject and this is V1. Do is V1, did is V2 and done is V3. Okay. So this is interrogative sentence, and I've already told you the uses. It is used to express a habitual action in the past, and the things which is completed, the things which is already completed. So this is what? This is past indefinite tense, and the other name of past indefinite tense is simple past tense. So children, with this I have done past simple past tense. The first one is completed, simple past tense or past indefinite tense. So children, please always remember that in affirmative sentence what do we have? In affirmative sentence what we have? In affirmative sentence we always have V2, and in negative sentence we always have what? First form of the verb. Okay. So So children, now I will be, we have done simple past tense, and now I will be doing past continuous tense. Okay. Past continuous tense. So children, meaning of continuous is to continue. In past continuous tense, we mention an action, that action going on in the past. That means children, that action is being continued in the past. Okay, like peacock was dancing in the forest. You can see children, peacock was dancing in the forest. We mention an action that is going in the past. Okay, and children, we mentioned two actions taking place simultaneously in the past. When John was reading his book, Jancy, his sister, was writing a letter. Children, when in the second uses of simple past tense is that two works is continued simultaneously. Like children, when John was reading his book, Jancy, his sister, was writing a letter. So here two works are being continued. One was reading, okay, and what the other is was writing. One is was reading, the other is was writing. So two action has been continued. When John was reading his book, Jancy, his sister, was writing the letter. So children, what is the uses of past continuous tense? We mention an action which is going on in the past, and we mention two action which is taking place simultaneously. That means two works are happening together. Like in this example, I have told you, when John was reading the book, Jancy, his sister, was writing a letter. Okay, now I will be telling you about sentence structure of past continuous tense. So, past continuous tense, sentence structure, affirmative. Okay, so affirmative sentences, subject plus was, where plus be1 plus ing. Subject plus was or where plus be1 plus ing plus object. Subject plus was or where plus be1 plus ing plus object. Okay, then like we can mention that in example, he was sleeping when I went to his house. House is an object, was sleeping, and this is the subject. They were listening the lecture of his teacher, of their teacher. In the class. This is object, they were listening, and this is the subject. Okay, so they were listening to the lecture of their teacher when I went there. Okay, now, so children, the sentence structure of affirmative sentence is subject was oblique where plus v1 plus ing plus object. Okay, with the singular we use was, and with plural we use were. With singular we use was, with plural we use were, v1 plus ing. Alright, now I will be telling you about the negative sentence. Negative interrogative sentences. Okay. So subject plus was or is there plus not plus object. Okay, so in negative sentence we all know that we use not here. So subject plus was, where plus not plus V1 plus V1 plus ing plus object. So she was not going to the picnic. She was not going to the picnic. This is the subject. This is the picnic is a place of standing object. Now we were not sitting there in the park. Okay, we is the subject. Were not sitting in the park. Okay, so you can see I have written the example of the negative sentences also. Okay, so now children I will be telling you about the interrogative sentence. Okay, interrogative sentences. Okay, so the formula for interrogative sentence. In interrogative sentence, what do we have? We always have children this one auxiliary verb first. So was, were plus subject, was, were plus subject plus so were you going to see the movie? When was they feeling well after the accident? So here were. Then third was he sitting in a park. Okay, so these are the example of the interrogative sentences. These are the example of the interrogative sentences. Now children, I will be doing the another tense with you. It is a bit difficult. You have to pay attention here. Okay, it is past perfect tense. So first I will be telling you about the uses of past perfect tense. Okay, now to express an action completed before a certain point of time in the past. To express an action. Children, there are two uses here. First is to express an action completed. To express a action completed before a certain time in the past. To express an action completed before a certain point of time in the past. So children, an action is already completed. Like children, this is a perfect tense, so please remember with perfect tense we use had, that is a have, had, second form the verb. Had is the second form of the verb, and since it is perfect tense, so we use had plus V3. I told you that whenever children, I told you this thing that we always use the third form of the verb in all the perfect tenses. Okay, so to express an action completed before a certain point of time in the past, like birds had gone. You can see this is the second. This is V2 had plus this is V3 had gone to their nest before sunset. Okay, so children, the first uses is it is used to express an action completed before a certain point of time in the past. So what is the point of time? Certain point of time is here before sunset, and birds had gone to their nest before the sunset. Now children, the other uses is a bit complicated. Try to understand it. Now children, whenever we have two action, okay, whenever we have two action, the former action, what is the meaning of the former action? That is the first action. What is the meaning of the former action? That is the first action. That will always be in the simple past tense. Okay, like children, I am going to tell you one example. The train had left when we reached the station. Okay, so children, here you can see this is a sentence, and here we are having children two actions we are having. Okay, how the action word is here. Which word tell us the action? It is the verb which tell us the action. So here two verbs are there. One is had left, this is the main verb. Okay, and this is the another verb. This is another verb. Okay, the train had left when we reached the station. Now former action means the action which has happened first. So children, when we will read the sentence, you have to find out which action has happened first. The train had reached. The train had left the station, or when we reached the station. So children, it is we are very much sure when we reached the station, the train left. When we reached the station, when we reached the station, this is the former action. This is the former action. Former action is पहले वाला action. Okay, there are two actions are there. One is reached and the other is train. So what was the first action here? The train had left the station when we reached there. The train had left the station when we reached here. So here the former action is train had left, and the second action is when we reached there. When we reached there. So children, which is the former action? What is the former action here? That will come in the the former action will be in the past perfect tense. Okay, so this is the situation. So once again I revise. Past perfect tense is used to express an action completed before a certain point of time in the past, or to express the former of the two action in the past. When two actions are there, then the former action must be there in the past tense. Okay, the thief had run away before the police raided the house. The thief had run away before the police had raided the house. Now you have to think, which is the first action? The thief had run away or the police raided the house? So here two words are there. First is thief had run away, and the second action is police had raided the house. Okay, the thief had run away, the police had raided the house. Had run is the former action. So this will be in simple past tense. This will be in simple past tense. Okay, Police raided the house. Police raided the house. This will be in, this is the second action. Okay, so this will be in simple past. So children, the time is over, and with tomorrow again I will be explaining the same topic once again, because still we have to do the sentence structure. Thank you and have a nice day ahead.